Let's we start our third chapter, second part of Newton's second law of motion. You have studied about Newton's first law of motion. You have studied previous class. Today we are discussing about Newton's second law of motion. So the mass, a body of mass m. Consider a body of mass m. Using Newton's second law, we can calculate force. So see here, a body of mass m, you are applying force on this body 3 Newton. So its velocity changes to 3 meter per second or 5 meter per second. When a body of mass 3 Newton, you are applying force, this velocity changes to 5 meter per second. After a time t second, the same body, you should applying force on that body 6 Newton. So its velocity changes to 10 meter per second. A body of mass 1 kg mass, you consider 1 kg, you apply force 3 Newton on this body, its velocity is changes to 5 meter per second. After t second, you are applying a body, same body applying 6 Newton force, their velocity is changes to 10 meter per second. Then you know that the momentum is calculating. How you calculating momentum? P is equal to m into v. The momentum we are calculating, P is equal to m into v. The mass here 1 kg. So the momentum of the first, if you are applying here 3 Newton force, now that time the momentum is P is equal to P1 is equal to m into u1. Why? Because here initial velocity, this one final velocity 10 meter per second, initial velocity is 5 meter per second. So the initial momentum is P1 is equal to m u1. So m u1 mass is 1 into 5. So you are getting here momentum 5 kg meter per second. Your previous class studied the unit of momentum. Now momentum unit is kg meter per second. The momentum of second body. How you calculate momentum of second body? P is equal to P2 is equal to m v. V means the final velocity. How much mass here? Mass 1 into the final velocity 10 meter per second. So you are writing here 10 meter per second. So momentum is 10 kg meter per second. So the first momentum you are getting here 5 kg meter per second. The momentum of second time you are getting here 10 kg meter per second. So how you calculate rate of change of momentum? For calculating rate of change of momentum, we are writing delta P, rate of change of momentum, the momentum of a second body minus the momentum of first. That P2 minus P1. P2 means mv minus mu. So mv, how much you are getting here? 10, no? So 10 minus 5. The rate of change of momentum is 5 kg meter per second. So rate of momentum is changed here 5 kg meter per second. So applied force here increases means the momentum also increasing. If applying force is decreased, means their momentum also what happened? Decreasing. If applying force here 2 Newton is there, means velocity also here decreasing. So what happened here? Momentum is decreasing here. So here change in momentum you are getting 5 kg meter per second. Then the momentum in a time t second. How you writing momentum in t second? Delta p divided by t. It is equal to delta p means mv minus mu divided by t. So mv minus mu divided by t, it is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to unbalanced external force acting on it. F, it is directly proportional to F. So we can write F is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum divided by t. It can be also write F proportional to, you can take m outside now, into V minus U divided by t. You know that V minus U divided by t, it is an acceleration. Was studied in second chapter. V minus U divided by t means acceleration. So we can write F proportional to m into a. So we can write proportional constant k. So F is equal to k into me. So the value of k is equal to 1. So we can write F is equal to ma. This is the calculating force using F is equal to m into a. The Newton's second law of motion states that when a body, the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the unbalanced external force acting on it. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the unbalanced external force acting on it. So we are getting final F is equal to m into a. Using this formula we can calculate force. So next we are discussing about impulse. Impulse means a large force acting on a body in short time. A large force acting. So we can write impulse or impulsive force. Impulse or a impulsive force. A large force acting on a short time, that is called impulse. So we can write impulse I is equal to, there are force and time now, a large force acting in a short time. So that impulse is equal to F into T, force into time. Like that we are calculating impulse. So we can write force. You know that force, we are I is equal to, impulse is equal to m into V minus U divided by T into T. Force, F you are calculating using the Newton's second law of motion. So applying here, I is equal to m into V minus U divided by T. So this cancels here. So impulse I is equal to m into V minus U. So it can also, we can write mv minus mu. The impulse is equal to rate of change of momentum. No, here the impulse mv minus mu means rate of change of momentum. So this is relation is known as impulsive momentum principle. This relation is known as impulse momentum principle. Momentum principle. I is equal to mv minus mu. This is called the rate of change of momentum. So impulse is equal to rate of change of momentum. So impulse means we can write F into T. No, F into T is a constant. It is a constant. Rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum. So it can be write F into T is equal to a constant. F into T is a constant. So we can write F is equal to a constant divided by time. No, we can write F is equal to a constant divided by time. We can write a constant, we can write I1. So force is inversely proportional to time taken by it. The force is inversely proportional to time taken by it. It is called the impulse. So next we are discussing about Newton's third law of motion. So before that, sometimes the cricket ball catching time, they are moving their hand backward. Why? Because their rate of change of momentum, to increase the momentum, they increase the time. So they are moving their hand backward means they are extending time. No, so their rate of change of momentum is increases. So we are discussing about Newton's third law of motion. So see their picture. In that picture, a balloon, a string is passes through a straw. So in that a straw attached a balloon. The balloon filled with the air. So when you release air from that balloon, so that balloon moves in forward direction, the air moves in backward direction. So their action and reaction is opposite direction. No, air releasing in a backward direction, the balloon with the straw that moves in forward direction. Their action is the releasing air from the balloon. That is called action. The reaction is the balloon moves in a forward direction. So here action and reactions are in a opposite direction. So same process, another example see there. A tube filled with the water. A test tube filled with the water. It is tightly closed with a cork. If you heated that test tube, what happened inside that water have no? That water started to boiling, so they are producing steam. So that cork is moving out. So because why? Their water started to boiling, so there produces steam, so that a cork moves in outward. Outward means that moves in forward direction. That time the test tube, what happened there? The test tube moves in a backward direction. Here action, which one? The cork moves in forward direction. Reaction is the test tube moves in backward direction. Here action and reaction are in a opposite direction have. Same process, another example see there. Two material is there. That material we are using, that is called we are spring balance. There A and B spring balance, they are attached in their middle. If you apply force on the spring A, so what happen? Equal force is applied same time, the equal force is applied on the spring balance B. So there force applying in opposite direction. They are both also applying equal amount of force, but that force is in a opposite direction. Equal force applying, but this in opposite direction is there, no? So in the A in backward direction, B in forward direction, so that their opposite direction equal force applying. This is called Newton's third law. So we understood the three experiments. In that first experiment were done a balloon. Balloon is when a string through a straw, passing through a straw through a string. So what happened, you are attaching there one air filled balloon. There the air moves in backward direction, the balloon moves in forward direction. So there what happened, opposite action and reaction is opposite direction is there. Same process in second experiment you are observed. If you heat the test tube, you are filling the water in a test tube, so that completely closed with a cork. If you heat a test tube, inside water have, so that water started to boiling, so that producing steam. So what happened, that a cork moves in forward direction, the tube moves in backward direction. Same process you are observed another one, to spring balance. If you applied force on the A, so that same force is applied on the B. So what happened there, the equal and opposite force applying, no, equal and opposite forces are applying on a body. So that is called Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion states that every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is called Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion states that every action there is equal and opposite reaction. It is called Newton's third law of motion. So other examples for Newton's third law of motion, bullet fired from a gun. So then the bullet is moving in the forward direction, the gun is moving backward direction. No? So first action, which one, the bullet moves in forward direction, that is the action. The reaction is the gun moves in backward direction, that is the reaction. Here you understood what is action, what is reaction. Same process, a man jumped from a boat to a shore. So what happened, the man applied force on the boat. So afterwards he is jumping now. The man applied force on the boat, that is the action. The boat applied force on the man. So man comes to the land now. That is the reaction. The action is the man applied on the force on the boat. That is the action. The reaction is the boat apply force on the man. He jumps to the land. That is the reaction. So same process. A boat is rowing. A boat is rowing time. The boat is moving. The water moving backward direction. No, the water apply force on the water. You backward direction. So water moves in the backward direction, that is the action. The boat moves in the forward direction, that is the reaction. So there equal and opposite is there. Action and reactions are equal and in opposite direction. That is states that Newton's third law. So every action there is an equal and opposite reactions you are observing. The three cases studied. In these three cases also, there are every action, there every reaction also is there. So if action, you are applying a force, a body F, apply force F1 to 2. So there same, it is equal to another body 2 to 1. If a body 1 applied to a force to the body 2, it is equal to the a body applied force 2 to 1. So but it is equal, but is in the negative sign is said, but it is in opposite. So it is, we are writing here negative. So this both also not cancelling here, that is negative symbol is there, no. So that in opposite direction. So what we here getting negative symbol, so there is does not cancelling here. So today's class we are discussing about Newton's second law of motion discussed. Then impulse you are discussed. In the Newton's second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the unbalanced external force acting on it. So Newton's third law states that every action there is equal and opposite reaction is there. That is Newton's third law. So impulse means a large force applied in short time, that is called impulse. So next we discuss about our next class.